educating hundreds of people that have no idea what breaking is too. And I'm like, I'm bridging the gap between the bullshit that I'm doing every day with something that I've been together for the past 15 years. And I'm like, bam, dude, that's like a, I can't even explain it, dude.
Welcome to the Crossroads, the show where we dive into the stories of unique and accomplished individuals so that you can unlock your best life.
Joey, Kaotyk, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day, tuning in from Japan. Welcome.
Yes.
And I hope you're having a good one. How you been these last few months?
The past few months has been crazy, man. Beginning of February is like right when the beginning of coronavirus, like we don't know it's gonna be this big, and we like moved from Taiwan to Japan, and then coronavirus just went bam. But it wasn't as bad. It didn't get bad in Japan until like a little later on. So like we're just seeing all of this thing unfold, and then you know how in Japan everything is so crowded, the train and stuff like that. And then people start panic buying everything. So it was pretty crazy. But for the past few months, I would say like just grinding every day, lack of sleep, but it's okay. Put in the work to survive. Yeah.
All right. Can you run us through that? Because I think when we hear live stream, none of us understand the brunt and the volume at which you're delivering your work, because that is your work for your livelihood. So can you run us down like what a day in the life looks like? And I'm sure it changes, but maybe like a week. Let's hear it from Joey. Let's hear it from the source.
Yeah.
What's that like?
So, I mean, outdoor live streaming it's probably a 3 to 4 year industry. It's so new. There hasn't been much study behind in terms of psychological damage into the things that we go through every day. The changes, like people don't think about that. Like they just think that, oh, these guys are going outdoor with a selfie stick, right? But they don't hear the backstory about like there are times when I wake up at night thinking that I'm holding a selfie stick still, and I wake up and then my hand is in the air. Yo, true story, man. True story. And then when I first started dating my fiance, she would like when we fall asleep, she would hug me and I would push her off because I think I'm still streaming. I would push her off, think that I'm still live.
Whoa.
And it's funny because when my fiance start to stream for herself for a few times, or after she streamed with me for so long, this was before she was a streamer, she also felt the same of like, oh, I think we're still streaming, and push me off at night when we're sleeping. So there's a lot of that goes behind of just holding a selfie stick. But with that said, right, I guess the day of my life is just get myself ready, and whenever I feel like I'm ready, I hit the live button. I have a really crazy setup with like a full-on backpack, and it's got 4 Wi-Fi modems. It's got an HD Sony Action Cam plug into a live view. It's an encoder that sends a signal into a cloud. So I'm live streaming into a cloud server, and a 50,000 mAh battery pack, and that thing can charge your phone for like an entire week.
50,000, damn.
So it's a pretty heavy backpack. Like it's about 10 pounds. I'm carrying it. Lately I've been doing a POV view instead of a selfie stick because I don't want to, coronavirus and all that. I got a camera mounted like just right over here, and I go live, and I just go outside. I engage with hundreds and thousands of viewers every day, and they're all tuning in from all over the world, and I just hang out with them, and it makes me feel like they're like my friends as well. Like you're talking to your friends, you're hanging out. It's really not that serious, but I do try to provide the things that I find interesting, the things that brings me joy in life, and I try to show them and bring it to wherever they're tuning in from, So it's like we go to I try to do special events. Obviously, we broadcasted 2 years in a row freestyle session worldwide. A few breaking events, also Tokyo Break Park and things like that out here in Japan. We did Taipei B-Boy City in Taiwan, like a lot of major events. And just bringing this breaking content into Twitch and bridging the gap of the video game industry and the lifestyle industry together. And it kind of just like, right? Like I'm seeing people that are typing in chat like, Pogu Pogu, Pog Champ, blah, 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 and like lighten up. But the thing is like, when other B-boys are watching my stream, they don't understand what this is. And I'm trying to educate them like, yo, this is how Twitch chat gets hyped as fuck. Like we speak a different language. We share our emotions through emotes. We call it the Twitch emotes, right? So this is so new, coming from both ends, and just kind of bring two worlds together. Like that's crazy, right? So every day I just try to go out and stream interesting shit, go explore adventure, visit abandoned places, maybe find a cool rooftop to check out. Maybe even, I don't know, talk to strangers was one of my favorite things to do, right? Like you get that interaction and really dive into other people's lives and just pick their brains to see what they're up to, or even just being a tourist. So like, it's perfect for us being here in Japan because I love Japan. I feel like I have so many friends out here in Japan. The food here is fucking amazing. The prices here is fairly affordable. The street fashion, the sneaker game, like out here is just crazy, So it's kind of like that, taking them to really see it, and they have the opportunity to see the world through me. And also it's an immediate response. It's live, right? So they can, if I were to run into somebody, they can see, hey, Joey, can you ask him this question? And I'll be able to reply, and I'll be able to answer that for them, So I think it's an incredible experience. It's only been around for so long. So like, I guess that's a day of an IRL streamer. We call it in real life, IRL. But now Twitch changed it to just chatting. So I guess I'm a just chatter under just chatting on Twitch.
Right. I looked at your Twitch and I saw that there's like these little categories for different IRLs. So that makes sense. But everything you just said, I think sums it up really well. Because it is a lot more than just turning on your camera and talking to people, especially when you're traveling, you're doing all this stuff.
Sometimes it's like the mental, like the mental state too. Like from the back of your mind, you're thinking, damn, what, everyone would probably think I'm crazy, right? But if you let that bother you, then you're not going to be successful at what you do. So you kind of have to.
Oopsie.
Oh, give me a second, yo.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
I'm literally in the middle of this podcast. I'm sorry. Fuck, dude. Yo, she didn't bring cash.
Oh, no. Do you want to go bring it to her?
Okay, is it okay if I'm so sorry, dude. Dude, hold that thought and I'll be back.
Okay, no worries. It's okay. Tell her I said hi because I've never met her before, but yeah.
Yeah, you're lucky he's not pissed off at you. He says hi.
Hello. Sorry. It's okay. Took a quick break. Joey got a call from Harami saying that she forgot her cash, so Joey went and busted a mission. Got her cash, I'm assuming.
Fucking bike, dude. Holy shit. Fuck. You could probably put that in too for content. I was thinking we should have just had the entire podcast as I'm biking to save her because she didn't bring fucking
That would have
cash.
been funny. Okay, well, I guess we'll talk about that since we did say we were going to at some point today. But from what I understand, you actually met Harami while you were streaming. That's pretty crazy. So how exactly did that happen?
So, I stream outdoor, like you guys know already. But pretty much just any other day, right? And a friend of mine actually donated $10 to me and say, yo, man, pay it forward. Buy somebody boba. Just buy random girl or guy boba. And I was like, cool, man. Like at the time I was playing a game where it's like the first person to treat a random girl boba wins. So I took up the challenge, and honestly, dude, for like 30-40 minutes I couldn't find anyone. I was so scared because I never had the idea of like, yo, I'm gonna use live stream to be my wingman. I mean, that's like a freaking 200, I would say 5 head. See, that's another language at Twitch. I would say 5 head idea. That's 200 IQ idea, right? Like you're streaming, that could totally be your wingman. You know what I mean? Kind of like the courage in front of a camera. But so what I did was I was so scared, and then all of a sudden I saw her walking out of the station, and she was dressing super decked out, bright yellow beret, like, and I know at that very moment I was like, guys, don't worry, I got this. I'm the type of guy that's one shot, one kill. I got this. And I went there and I asked, I was like, hey, are you busy right now? Like, do you believe in karma? Because like my friend gave me $10 and I want to take somebody out to, drink boba. Like, I'm live streaming right now, if it's okay with you. And then, yeah, it just hit it right off. It was like, I really like, it's just the moment that I saw her, like I was really feeling this girl, She always wanted to say it's like love on first sight. It was like that. I mean, I said, that's how I think, right? Love on first sight. It's just like, damn, this girl's hella tight. So I took her to boba, and after that, I asked her, did you eat dinner yet? She goes, no. So like, I took her to dinner right after that. And by this time, I have like 300 to 400 people watching, and that's like the most I've ever got. Because everyone's like, yo, Joey, because people like from community to community to community, people talking, they're like, yo, Joey is going, Joey just got this girl on stream and now they're hitting it off, and oh my God, they're now going to dinner. So people are talking and people are just coming in, you know? And then so after dinner, I was like, do you want to go get some dessert? And I took her ass to fucking
Haagen-Dazs, okay.
Haagen-Dazs, dude. And Haagen-Dazs is hella expensive in Asia. I was like,
yeah, it is.
I give it a full course meal, right? And then I dropped her off. That whole interaction of me meeting her to me dropping her off at the train station is still today on my Twitch channel. The entire
That's
thing
awesome.
of how we met. So it's kind of crazy, right?
You streamed the entire thing from when you met till you dropped her off. It was all streamed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And then and little did I know, she took the train to go watch a movie with another guy that she was seeing at the time. But you know, they didn't really, nothing ever really happened with them. In the end, she chose me, so I guess that was cool, right? But it was like kind of like the whole craziness of like kind of slowly unfold. But that's how I met. Yeah, that's how I met her on stream. Is still kind of crazy to me.
That is crazy. That's insane. How, I mean, it already speaks for itself how Twitch was essentially the ones who initiated the engagement. They were the ones who were like, yo, do this. And it was like what you were talking about earlier, where it's like you have a friend with you or you have a community and they can interact and they can make you do things, or they can kind of influence your life and they feel like they're really part of it because they are.
Yeah,
it's basically them who made you get your girlfriend.
Yeah, and at the time they were wingmanning hella hard because I had a thing where everybody whenever somebody donates $50 or more, I do a breaking set. Right. So as we're eating dinner, man, these guys are just subscribing, donating, and I'm just breaking in front of her. And then it was kind of like a weird flex, but I had to explain it to her, like, somebody donated, I guess I have to dance now, so it's like a perfect timing.
Dude, yeah, it's crazy. And on top of that, you say as if like, oh yeah, it's great because then I get to break in public. But most people wouldn't be caught dead being able to do that. Like, I think that's crazy how you're able to put yourself out there. And so I kind of want to trace this back, because I know that like at face value, we see Joey and we're like, oh yeah, like he's a live streamer. Like that's just what he's born to do. But I know that I understand that before you even started doing this, you have a lot of history behind you. You've done a lot of things. You've worked in a lot of jobs. You've done a lot of different campaigns. And so I guess I want to trace it back. Yeah, I want to hear it from your mouth. Like, because one of the questions I had for you was like, what do you think separates you from all of these other people who may want to put themselves out on a limb, but aren't doing this on a regular basis? The people who can't like go out and break because that's hard. It's really hard to be able to do what you do. Like Twitch, it sounds like you can just go on and start streaming and, like do your thing, but you have to have the courage to be able to put yourself out there. And so I want to hear how that developed for you. Like what is your history and what do you think were the things that you did in the past that have helped you do what you do today?
I think majority of it really came from the phase of my family immigrating from Taiwan to America. So I was about 10 years old. And the first, I would say 5 years, or first 4 to 5 years has been crucial because, I didn't really speak any English. English was my second language. So like when I moved to America, I barely spoke any English. All I knew was like San Francisco, Michael Jordan, Disneyland, right? These 3 words. And I will honestly say like pushing through racism, discrimination, and prejudice, like getting made fun of, even being beat up on the daily, in junior high. It was rough, dude. It was really rough. Didn't really find a way to stand up for myself until 2005, where I found breaking, right? So like before I found breaking, it's just been a constant struggle. Like I hated America, it's just like, dude, this is not what I signed up for. Like my parents told me it's supposed to be land of freedom, a land of opportunity, right? Glorified like crazy. Yeah, it's cool. The house is way bigger than where we live in Taiwan, but like it was rough, man. I really hated it. And I remember I did it. I want to disassociate myself from the American culture. I did nothing but playing Taiwanese video games, Taiwanese music. I miss Taiwan so much. And then, going to school is just like, I don't know who my friends are. Like I had friends, but I can't really relate to them. It was tough. And I jumped from group to group of friends. Like people just doesn't really accepted me. I've hung out with different ethnicities, different groups, different hobbies, right? And it just never really like never really hit off until I finally found breaking. And those are the group of friends that really stuck with me till this day, you know. And they're still like, you know, my crewmates, my family, like some of the closest friends I ever had, which is so fucking lucky, dude. Like I like, it's very rare to find people that kind of grew up with the same group of people and they still kept in contact till this day. You know, it's been 15 years now, right? It's been 15 years. So I owe those people so much. And I know, like, even though we don't talk every day, but from the back, like I know they're rooting for me. You know, they want me to be successful. They want me to grow and stuff like that. So like, you know, it's really because of all the bullying and all the racism and stuff like that. I really kind of made me who I am today and pushed me to like, yo, man, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna have to fuck shit up. If you do this, you're gonna have to be the best, right? So it's the constant drive of that, the grind, and also after found breaking. I mean, you know, you're a b-boy too. You know, the breaking mentality is like, you don't just practicing a chair hurt my fucking wrist, so I'm just gonna not practice chair. Now we practice it, we get injured, we recover, we come back, and we practice again until we get the move. So b-boys also have that determination of like, yo, this is our mentality, and we need to keep going until we get that shit, right? So yeah, that's where that whole drive came from, of like the things that I do in my life and the things that I, you know, all that put together, I would say.
Got it. Yeah, dude. I remember meeting you, not the first time, because we'd already met briefly when you came to Santa Barbara, which is crazy because for those of you who don't know, I'm a UCSB student, or I recently graduated, but I was a part of this group and this club called UCS Breakin'. That was sort of the breaking club at the school. And I only found out later, which I guess my first or second year, that Joey and Kid Nasty, right? They were the founders of the club in 2010. And I remember reading more into it because I didn't know as much, but I remember you tried to start, you did start a club in SBCC called Expressions Club. It was originally called that,
Club,
right?
Yep.
And you were kind of going around Santa Barbara.
Damn, I didn't remember. I was like, what? Damn, yeah, I did start that club.
You did start that, yeah.
I fucking did.
And you were like hunting down all the dancers in Santa Barbara. Like I remember reading, I was like, that's some crazy stuff, man.
Dason was there too. Dason was there.
Well, how did you meet? Can you tell us a story about that? I guess because that's pretty interesting too. And I want to work from there, but I also personally just want to hear this. Like, what's your history with Kid Nasty and Anthony? How did you guys end up like meeting?
Yo, one of the greatest story ever told, dude. There was a break-in event at Cell Space, legendary venue in San Francisco, man. And I think it was Power Surge and Alien S and just a bunch of people. Like it was their birthday jam. And prior to that, like somebody found an interview of Cypher City King many years ago. And then my crew was like, oh, who are these kids from San Diego? You know, we didn't know they were older than us, but they look hella young. But like, look at these kids. They think they're dope, man. Like, we're from the Bay Area. They're from San Diego. So we're like, look at these clowns, you know? Like, stupid clowns, man. Like, we can smoke the shit out of these kids. And then so, like, we saw them at a Word of Dance, but we didn't really get to like, interact, right? So I was like, okay, cool. Now that we know what they look like, IRL. And so a few years later, like we saw them at the Still Space event. So, man, we called their asses out. It was like that. We called their asses out, dude. So it was guerrilla warfare, my crew, versus Cypher City Kings for San Diego. And we went at it for like over an hour, dude. The Cypher battle went over an hour. Yeah.
What the heck?
And guess what? Cypher City, they even called out a backup. Like one of their backup came in on the cuts. And then it was like, we were a little outnumbered and shit. But anyway, like, yo, that was so dope, dude. And over an hour Cypher battle, man. And it was fun. You know, it was super fun. And then I guess at the end it's all, you know, peace and love, right? And a few years later, there was a jam called Art of, it was the Art of War. I totally forgot, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, she's back.
She's back.
Is she still streaming?
She's still streaming.
Got it.
Okay. But you gotta be. You gotta be quiet. Okay, so like after that battle, we it was Art of War. Yeah, it was an event called Art of War, and then we met at I guess Cyber City was there as well, and they did. I think they did very well, but either they ended up winning the jam or they lost in the finals. But long story short, we started hanging out after the jam, and they were like, "Yo, man, you're so dope, Kaotyk. Like after whenever you guys come down to San Diego, like, dude, we got you. We'll take care of you." And so ever since then, like the friendship kind of built, right? And then one year, I think I was graduating from I was getting ready to transfer. I got all my college credits ready to roll out and figuring out which college I need to transfer to, because I went to a city college just to save some money. And from city college, I went to I was like, okay, which college do I go to? And then somebody tell me like, yo, Kid Nasty is moving to Santa Barbara, so maybe you should hit him up to become your roommate. And I was like, yo, that's dope.
I'm so sorry.
Just for context for people who are listening, Haremi has entered the building and she's currently live streaming. This is the life of she's a content creation couple.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
She just got a new subscriber, pretty much. So I was like, yo, Nasty, yo, we should be roommates. So I messaged him and he was like all for it. He was super down. And I was like, yeah, dude, we're gonna train every day and shit like that. And that's how we linked up. You know what I mean?
Wow, I didn't know that. So it started from a rivalry, and this is the same crew, Cyber City, that it's Dino's crew as well, right? And so for those in San Diego,
we smoked the shit out of them, by the way.
I'll be sure to.
But every time they tell the story, they say they smoke the shit out of us. But even till this day, like I would say, Cyber City, every single person in their crew has been such genuine. Some of the best people I've ever met in my life. Like breaking aside, like they're good people, man. Like that's what I could say. Went from a rivalry, become a friendship.
That's crazy. And then you ended up becoming roommates with Anthony, right?
And then roommates, yeah. And I became the best man for his wedding as well.
Oh, what? Wow.
I was there at a sorority party where we first met. When we first moved to Santa Barbara, we went to a sorority party. He wanted to find the hottest girl so the hottest girl in her high school ended up transferring to the Santa Barbara as well. So we were at Kaidel's. So that's the sorority house. We're at Kaidel's at the party. And so Kid Nasty wanted to find the girl, find the hottest girl at the party. And I was like, yo, man, no, I think you should go for that girl over there. Because I saw a girl that's like kind of short. She's got red lipstick. She's got a maxi dress. And I was like, you should definitely go for her, right? And then a few years later, that's the woman he ended up marrying, Reggie Samurai.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep.
So you were like the Twitch stream for Anthony. You're like the one who pointed out the girl, like the one who initiated it.
I was the Cupid with the arrow, and then he did the rest, so.
That's awesome. What? So, wow. It's just really cool to hear how from what started in breaking, you met Cyber City, which Anthony was a part of, and then you ended up becoming roommates in Santa Barbara. And then from there, I mean, you helped him get who's now his wife. And on top of that, you guys had a good time there. I remember I was researching, right? I was looking through old photos, and I found some old photos of you and Anthony. There's some pretty funny moments, but
man, there's too much.
There's a lot. I wanna ask about how did the whole club forming thing start? Like, did you guys work together on that?
Yeah, so at the time, like, cause I was still in Santa Barbara City College. I wasn't in UCSB at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted, like, we've always wanted to start something of our own. So at the time, it was a joke. Like, we wanted to be the coolest kids in the school. Like it was just like a joke, like a meme. Like we memed it. We're like, we want to be so badass. Like every girl's gonna look at us. Like blah blah blah. Like it's just like it's a meme. And then but at the time, like Zeta and Lambdas, like they wanted to rush us, right? They wanted to rush us to become they wanted to rush us, but we didn't want to just join another fraternity. We wanted to create something of our own. So we're like, yo, man, let's start a breaking club, right? And so I guess that's kind of where the idea came from. So you see us breaking just kind of formed from there, like obviously along with other people of help as well, right? like Dason, Chris, and everybody, like kind of help out Crazy K and all that, you know. And then it's kind of just like sprout. It went from an idea to you know, not really a fraternity, but turning into like a breaking club.
Yeah, no, I can definitely attest to now after it's been like 9 years that VCS breaking is probably the biggest part of my college life. And so just being able to hear like how it started.
I wish I was there when you guys were all there, because like it was like a beginning, right? Like we planted the seed and we grew it, but I wish like it was that big when we were there too, you know, because when Nasty was getting serious with his relationship, like I felt like I was the only one that's really like training, you know. And I guess that's another reason why I kind of dipped out UCSB too, because I feel like, damn, like I really wanted to find a way to get better. So I want to go home and get closer to like my own crew as well, so I can like really improve on my own craft. So that's kind of why I moved back out to the Bay instead of staying in Santa Barbara.
Right. Understandable. Yeah. I mean, Santa Barbara, it kind of shows that you had to start something from the scratch, right? It's like not really a hub for hip hop and breaking, but now, I mean, it's really growing. And like, I want to say this now, but it's always open to you. Like, you know, you wish that you're there, but you have seen us here and there. Like you got to stay with us that one night at freestyle session. That was really fun.
That was
and
fun.
People were always super stoked to see you. So
yeah,
it's always open to you.
That freestyle session that year made me feel like I don't know a lot of people there, but it made me feel like, damn, this is a good feeling, you know, like I'm just kicking it with these kids, like I'm just hanging out with them, you know, and it made me, it hits home to me.
Definitely. We can't thank you enough. We can't thank you enough because we wouldn't be around if it weren't for you guys. So like, thank you for that. And it's just cool how our worlds are connected. I remember that was kind of like the gateway because you came to judge one year, and then there was another year that I was really interested in running through again with you. Can you hear me, Joey? Joey. Okay, so we were back. That's so funny. Do you guys have like a Twitch like language for internet difficulties? Because I'm sure that happens a lot. Like, what do you guys usually do? Scuffed.
Yeah,
okay.
scuffed.
Yeah,
there you go.
Like this shit is scuffed, or I'm sorry, my internet is scuffed.
Got it. Well, that's the situation right now. Our shit's scuffed, bro. But we're back, and the thing we're talking about was just UCS breaking and all that stuff. Because I wanted to kind of something you created while you were, you know, going to school, and you left like a legacy behind. And it seems like it's just a thing, you know, like a college kid who may not feel like they can do a lot. Like college kid can do a lot, man. You can start a whole club and you can create a whole culture. And I think that's a really powerful thing that breaking has armed us with, right? Like this gift that people can really have a part and play a part in. And so I guess I want to dive more into.
I'm so sorry. Hey, I swear to God, guys, shut the fuck up. Oh my God. It was another resubscription. Or sorry, it's another subscription.
Dude, it doesn't end. Even when you're not streaming, it's like it's always going. So I don't blame you for having those lucid dreams. Those are crazy.
Right? I told you.
I remember in Cypher Cup 2017. I think it's this one, the one I'm wearing on the shirt right here.
17.
Yeah, it was the one where I think you were housing a few of the people who were visiting, and you were just chilling. And I remember I was excited to see you again. I wanted to catch up. And so I was asking you like what you're up to recently. Because I remember seeing your posts beforehand, you were working at Tiffany & Co. You were like killing it. You were doing a pretty good job. Like you looked really good. And you look like you're having a nice life. And so I remember asking you like, what are you up to? And you're like, oh, I actually just quit my job recently. I was like, wait, why? I'm like, it seemed like you're doing pretty good. And he's like, and you're just like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going like full time on streaming. Like, I'm like, what? That's awesome. Like, I've never really heard that come from someone's mouth before. I'm like, yo, this guy's going for it. Like, he just quit his job and he's going to go in full time.
Because I think that's also during July, right? July?
Yeah.
It was July, right? So July 17th was my first stream ever. So Cyber Cup happened probably 1 or 2 weeks after that.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. So I literally, so I had 0 followers and 0 viewers, and I just say, fuck it. I'm a full-time streamer.
That's crazy, man. You really took that jump, and it wasn't like you really just got rid of your safety net and you just went for it. And I mean,
I did.
we can look at it now and be like, oh yeah, like obviously like it worked, but no, I have a feeling that it required a good amount of work and dedication. And I want to hear a little bit about that transitionary phase for you. Like, what was that like, the very beginnings of getting into streaming?
The very beginning was difficult, I would say, because there aren't much studying behind the technology of what we should or should not use. The internet in America wasn't like on its A game. Like
That's true.
it's pretty whack compared to Asia. And there's no true unlimited internet. So like there is no way for me to say, yo, I'm gonna go out and stream for 10 hours and like I'll just be okay with that, right? So and the internet is always scuffed in. We don't actually have things that could help us out when it comes to like technical difficulties. There's so much research that needs to be done.
Because they said they want to see.
You're in the frame.
I know, because they said they want to see who is the people. Is
Okay.
a cute guy. They
You
said
were-
they want to see is a cute guy.
You were in the there weren't much like study behind it. So like we were running on whatever that we could, man. Running on like applications that even people that started streaming nowadays never even heard of. You know, so
Yeah.
like that's when you know you're fucking OG, right? But I wasn't even like in the beginning. I was probably the second wave of, you know, so it was tough, you know, trying to figure out where we could get signal, how we can troubleshoot, how we can stay connected with the internet, and having absolutely no idea of the Twitch culture. That's also, you know, for me that I have to learn, right? Like people's gonna be wondering if they go to their first breaking event, they're gonna wonder, what is this? What is this?
Right.
What is
right.
this? What
Yeah.
does this mean? What is slapping
Right.
and forming, right?
Yeah,
Nobody's
there's a bunch
gonna
of
know what that
there's so
means.
much language that
There's
regular
so
people
much
wouldn't
body
know.
language.
Yeah.
So Twitch, there's so much
Yeah, it's like
and
shit.
yeah, it's great. It's
Crazy,
all up
yeah.
in your face, and you just don't know. And when Johnny UC and so yeah, all this stuff that I have to learn from the beginning, not knowing like what I'm doing, and yeah, and I was very fortunate enough to get scouted by a group of people that's been in Twitch community for a long time, and they really taught me the ways of. They pretty much just tell me to get the fuck out of my room because I started off streaming indoor every day. They're like, dude, you got to do something unique. There's only few people that's streaming outdoor, and you need to get your ass out. And I was like, fine, I'm fucking do it, and I did it.
You did it. And I mean, you had to figure out how you're going to take the bandwidth it requires to stream outdoors, right? And so
It's crazy.
yeah, like that must have taken some pioneering and all this different technology that you're still playing with. You're carrying around a freaking backpack that I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, yo, that's some crazy stuff. Like
It's still, man.
it still is. Like, how did you construct that? What was the process behind that?
So the backpack was created by a guy named Gunrun, and he's like the OG Twitch, man. He started working at Twitch when it was Justin TV. He's like one of Twitch first staff ever.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of a big deal. And he's just like a brain of like, dude, he's like Forbes 30 under 30. And he just got all these ideas of putting all these electronics together to make this backpack. So he's the mastermind behind all of this stuff. Obviously, now he's got help of other companies that kind of put everything together. I was very fortunate enough to meet some friends that works at Twitch. I actually one of the partnership manager of Twitch was my neighbor growing up in Fremont in the Bay Area. So he has actually been trying to tell me to stream on Twitch for more than 6 years.
Oh, so that
Okay.
backpack was constructed by like one of
Go
Twitch employees. Got it. I want to touch more a little bit on what it took to get here in terms of trial and error, like failure. And this doesn't have to be Twitch related. It can be, but I remember I sent you a question and I asked you if you have a favorite failure. And that could be a failure that happened in your childhood. It could be something that happened recently, something that you feel was a really harsh but important lesson that helped you set you up later for success. And so I was wondering if you have any.
Earlier in the day when I was streaming, and I asked everyone the same question because I kind of went over the question with my people
cool.
watching, and then we were thinking very hard. All the other questions we have an answer, but the only answer that we don't have is the failure. It's what is my favorite failure? So I come to a conclusion that I feel like failure is subjective. And I think the reason why I feel like I don't know, like if I really want to say, oh yeah, I failed doing this, then maybe like one time I jumped off of a 2-story building, being dumb. I was stupid fucking high school, right? I almost broke my left wrist. So I was practicing breaking with just my right hand. But right, because I was training on my right hand, some of my signature pattern from breaking was created then, even up until now, right?
Yo.
So that's the only fail that I can really think about, right? And all the other thing is really kind of just like the journey of get to where I'm at. Obviously, I'm nowhere near I want to be, but at least I'm in the process. I'm in the zone, like slowly building, right? But there's always these uproots, downward. There's always these spikes of going up, crashing down, going up and crashing down, and it's how you face these crashes, right? Same with breaking. When you had a bad jam, when you had a bad recovery and all that, it fucks with you, right? But you have to bounce back. So that's one of the biggest take that I have on it is like our mental, the way we train our mind.
I think that's a perfect example of a failure. Like, I mean, like a dumb choice, right? It resulted in you hurting yourself. But then what you did was you worked around an injury. And now what you made of that has left you with some of the signatures that you use today. And I think I know what you're talking about, right? Sort of like the flare to baby and some of the baby walks, right? Like all those things, right? Yeah. So that's really cool to hear. That's another thing I wanted to bring up when you were talking about breaking mentality is that when you get injured, you don't just like wait to recover. You work around your injuries. And I think that's a really, really important lesson for not just breaking, but for life. And so that's really cool to hear from you, how exactly that applied to your life. And since you did say that failure is subjective, I'm sure you still feel at certain points of your life that whatever you're doing can get overwhelming. Like, I don't know exactly how your mind works because I have been tracing the journey and the trail you've kind of left behind in terms of content, in terms of posts. You ran a blog for about 3 years, if not, and you're still kind of continuing it. But I remember the very first post was really cool to read. You're kind of like, I don't know where this is going, but like, hey, like, let's do it. And it's kind of that seems to kind of be the philosophy still today. Like, you don't know what's going to happen today, but let's just go for it. But I guess from a personal perspective, like you mentioned that I'm on TikTok, right? And I feel like I've been having fun on it and creating content, and I've kind of found a voice there because I've been doing better than I have anywhere else. But at the same time, this isn't even my full-time job, and I can get burnt out. I'm like, yo, I'm not having fun anymore. I'm gonna take a break. But that's not really something that you can do, right? Like, this is your job in a sense. Like, you have to show up.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, how do you deal with burnout? Like, because especially, I feel like this is very prone to happen, especially when you make something that's supposed to be like, it sounds fun and glorious, but you have to do this. It's like, it's your job. You got to do it. You got to show up.
Yeah.
How does that kind of work for you?
The feeling of burning out, I think it's been happening way more frequent now than before because I want to combine both. I want to balance both breaking, physical training versus mental training versus I'm out walking. If it's not raining, I'm out walking about 30,000 steps a day, average. And I don't know how many miles that actually calculates. And we just walk and talk nonstop or as much as we can. And after the stream is off, then I have to hit the gym or hit the studio and practice breaking. So it's like, and when I get home, like, you know, I kind of feel, because I have a fiance, right? And it feels kind of bad if like I'm so tired and I don't give her the attention that she deserves. But it's like I'm also in this like grind of like, I gotta work hard, but I also gotta balance my life. So the burnout is always there. It's literally always there. And I feel like I haven't really gotten actual rest. But the key to not feeling burnout is to do things away from the things that you're not burnt out by, right? And I guess I'm fortunate enough to have so many random hobbies. Like I do cardistry, which is like a bunch of tricks with cards. I do DJing for fun, collecting records, just playing, just put on a vinyl, right? It just feels so good. Obviously, if I'm burnt out by streaming, I just go break. Or if I burn out for breaking, I just go stream, vice versa. Street photography, take pictures or try to figure out like what kind of content that I can create. It's always like there's never actual break because I'm not worthy enough to take a break yet. Steve Aoki, I don't know if you've ever seen, and maybe you should. Steve Aoki have a documentary called "I'll Sleep When I'm Dead," and I think that's the perfect. I think that is the perfect mentality of like, dude, this guy already made it, but he's still working hard, right? He's still fucking going ham. So like, I will sleep when I'm dead, but I don't want to just say, I don't think I'm worthy enough to take a break yet. Not even. Somebody today asked me, yo, Joey, when are you going to visit Hawaii? And I got homies on Hawaii, the 808 breakers. I got people that watch me in Hawaii that wants me to go to Hawaii. They're like, yo, we got places for you to stay for free. And I'm like, yo, that's tight, right? But I told them like, I'm not worth, Hawaii is, I travel all around the world, but Hawaii is one place that I feel like to people it's paradise. As cliche as it sounds, it's paradise. I want to treat myself to go to Hawaii as a sense of like, I finally did something that I'm proud of. I made it, so I deserve Hawaii. So I told him like, I'm not ready to go to Hawaii yet until I finally said, yo, I did it and I fucking made it. Let's go to Hawaii. Like I finally deserve that. So it's kind of like I will finally deserve rest when I can finally say, yo, I'm gonna take a few days off, and actually feel like I'm gonna take a few days off. But in this life of live streaming, you can never actually have a day off, because when Harimi and I take our day off, from the back of my head, I'm always thinking, fuck, dude, I could be streaming this. Fuck, dude, like this could be content. This thing that we are doing offline right now can be content, but I'm not streaming. So we're always having this constant mind of like, damn, this sucks, right? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our mind is never at rest.
Yeah. Does that, and that sounds, I can relate to that because I try to make everything I do on a daily basis somehow root back to like my goals, right? And I think that's kind of along the same lines of what you're talking about. So I'm curious, does that feel in your head? Does that feel more like it's something you want to do? Like, oh yeah, like I would be having a lot more fun making content of this. Or is it more like, yo, fuck, like I'm not taking steps towards my goal and I need to do this? Like how would you kind of classify that in your head, that feeling? Because I know that the latter can make you, that is one of those feelings for me personally that leads to burnout, where I feel pressured to always be doing things. And that idea of like what you said, if you're spending too much time in that realm, that's what leads to burnout. But yeah, I'm curious for you, how does that feel for you?
It's yeah, it is tough, man. Like when I feel like I'm seriously burnt out, but I know that I still gotta show up and stream, I let them know straight up, like, yo guys, like, dude, I feel like death, and today it's just gonna be a chill stream. Like, please, like, don't expect any content. Let's just hang out and let's talk and let's just chill. And I guess I'm fortunate enough to have people that support me like that, like the community that we have, it's mad supportive, man. Like I can't even thank them. I can't thank them anymore. It's just like they're there for me, so they understand that, yo, man, like Joey's having a bad day, just like still be there for him, right? But I don't know. I feel like when I'm burnt out from streaming, I try to take a step back, and I do take a day off, sometimes two, but the longest I've ever taken a day off was probably 3 days in a row. Longest ever. And that's also because I had bronchitis, and it was just bad, but I think for over 2 years, I've never taken more than 2 days off straight, ever. It was just nonstop. And I think, let me see. In the past 3 months of here in Japan, let me check. 34 as of today. Last 3
34.
months, 425 hours. I don't know if that's
Holy
full
crap.
time.
I think there's a
So-
beauty in that though, because while you don't have a schedule, that allows that kind of gives you that idealistic freedom that you
of
kind of feel
choice.
as a content creator, right? And you kind of have to be your
Yeah.
own boss. But at the same time, I think that's really beautiful how you did say that you have garnered a audience that supports your decisions, to rest and to be yourself. And I feel like that's not something that is just exclusive to people with loyal audiences, but I think that's a really important lesson for people who are trying to create to understand, is that, including myself, is that
Mhm.
a lot of people are trying to make things that basically get them to be accepted. But a lot of us don't realize that just being authentic and being yourself, and as cheesy as that sounds, wording in a different way is like, it's really you who is the content. You know, it's not the extravagance of what you're doing. It's not trying to go out and do like fireworks and blow shit up. It's more like the character behind the person who's doing all of this. Like without the character, even the extravagance is substanceless. So the fact that you are open enough to share even your lowest moments with your audience, I think that is what allows your audience to really connect with you. So even though you say it's a chill stream, I'm honestly not feeling that great. I'm sure that the responses you get are like, yo, like I'm not feeling that great either. And maybe people will tell you about their low moments as well. And you'll really be able to
Yeah.
connect because you
It's
were
definitely
with them.
like the energy is definitely like it reciprocates, you know, and like we kind of bounce off the energy together. It's pretty dope.
Definitely. That's super cool to hear. For breaking, I guess I wanted to touch a little bit more on how that has translated to your life. I remember you did an interview like a few years ago. I forgot what the name of the interviewers were, but they interviewed Remind too. And the subject of your interview was like, don't sell yourself short or something like that, right? Because
Yeah, don't sell yourself short.
I feel like a lot of b-boys, and I see this firsthand, and it blows my mind because I see these talented ass people, right? People doing crazy things that 0.001% of the population are only able to do. They're like superheroes.
Even
Like,
a simple backflip, you know,
Yeah.
probably how many people in the world can do a backflip, right?
yeah, probably being generous, maybe like 1 out of 100. And
Yeah.
and like, yeah, like these kids are doing things that are inconceivable. I remember the first time I saw Breaking, my mind was blown. I was like, yo, like what can't these people do? And then I talked to them in real life, and a lot of them don't actually have a lot of goals like for themselves, you know? Like it seems like they're just kind of like, yeah, I'm just here, you know, I'm just chilling. I can do this crazy stuff. And
Mhm.
I've managed to achieve superhuman feats, but still I don't feel like I have the potential to do anything else. And I find that absurd. I'm like, yo, what the heck did you just say? So I want to hear from your mouth, because I know you're a big advocate of this, and you're kind of living the life. I've been following your journey ever since I found out who you were, and you've been very inspiring because not only are you a dope ass b-boy, not only a cool person, but you've also found ways to kind of take your passions and turn those into lifestyles. Being able to sustain yourself not purely off of breaking, but you definitely accredit a lot of the lessons you've learned from breaking to your current lifestyle. So I want to hear from your mouth, like what do you think are some of those things that b-boys, breakers, and just people who may not have the most self-confidence in themselves, to like, what's the message you
I think I definitely think you must dive deeper. I think everyone's got to learn and know their history, and I preach about, you know, always be a student, always a student. You know, I think Paul C's got that always a student movement, right? And it's a huge reminder to there's always something that you should be learning, dude. Like if there's more time that I can have, I want to be able to read more books. And that's hella fucking funny because like it's so crazy because I have like really bad ADHD. So it's so hard for me to finish one book. It's insane. But I want to read more books, and I want to understand. I want to learn more things that's more in depth with things. Like I want to learn about architecture, right? I want to learn about Asian American histories even more. I want to learn about histories even more, right? But you have to be open-minded. I've learned so much from breaking after I learned how to DJ. Every single DJ, I start to learn about their mannerisms when they transition, when they fuck up at the club. I know all of that, you know, or at least I know most of it, right? And I'm always trying to expand my mind, not just focus on one thing, because you know, like just like going back earlier, like when you get burnt out, you try to exercise a different part of your brain with different elements in life. Then it could possibly help you just kind of get that creative mindset going and just continue. You get capped, right? As your stats of breaking. Just think about, like, I always say, like, life is an MMORPG game. It's a multiplayer role-playing game. You're always leveling up, but you have one life. Your breaking stats is max out. Give it a little time for cooldown. Level up your other stats, right? Level up your other stats, and mine kind of overlaps with something, right? So it's just like you always got to be open-minded, figure out yourself, and just by going back, like, never ever sell yourself short, ever. You know, let yourself know your worth, and just explore more options and the things that you can do in life. Like I see a lot of dancers, I see a lot of people in the industries that's trying really hard to push their crafts after pandemic has hit, you know. And it's crazy, right? A lot of people kind of like are lost. So many unemployment, and we don't know what to do. But it's also cool to see so many new people that are now trying to live stream, right? Like, dude, Selection, DJ A-Track, The Roots, freaking, man, you name it. There's so many freaking DJs. So Super Sam News, freaking Andre, so many DJs are streaming on Twitch now that is just out of this world. John Legend did a stream the other day too on Twitch. Like, dude, it's crazy, you know. And just to see this thing grow, right? And just to see people like trying to find their ways. To me, I'm like, hell yeah! I'm so glad these people are trying to find different ways to, like, out of their daily struggle, because they're finding ways, they're exploring, right? So as a constant exploring, always learning, always a student, right? And just you know, never sell yourself short. Just know that you're more than who you think you are. You know.
100%. Yeah, and I think that's a great actionable point for people to start understanding that, because you can say it and people can be like, okay, but you have to realize that we're not so one-dimensional as humans, right? Like, I think the way I was personally able to kind of understand that, oh, breaking isn't just like in its own little box. Like, this isn't just a skill that doesn't apply to other things. You kind of try other things. It's like, okay, I remember going from high school and I didn't really have any drive. You know, I used to dance. It's like those kids who go skate. It's like, you know, like I can skate pretty well, but I don't really know what else I can do. Like, this is kind of where the road ends for me. And breakers have the same mentality. But then I remember going into school, I didn't really know what major I wanted to pick. I was like, okay, I guess film, it sounds cool. You know, I'm like, all right, it's something. I wasn't immediately drawn to it. But as soon as I started picking up cameras and started to try things, then I started to realize, like, yo, wait a minute. There's a lot of things that breaking helps with. Like, I'm starting to see a lot of parallels between these techniques, like composition and storytelling. I'm like, wait a minute, I already have this under my belt. Like, you're telling me that breaking is actually a lot more valuable than we originally thought. It just requires you to explore a little bit, like you just said. And I think that's probably something you've seen a lot, because your photography is pretty amazing too. Like, I'm actually really surprised, how great your photography is. It's really good. So yeah, check out Joey's photography. But I think he's a living example of exactly what we're talking about right now. Is don't sell yourself short, and I think that's beautiful.
I guess back in 2005,
ABC.
We had a crew called Asian Breaking Crew. It was so dumb, but my cousin told me there was a b-boy. My cousin told me on Facebook, say there's another breakdancer at the school, and this was when I didn't even know what breakdancing is, and I just make up bullshit moves like in my garage. I don't even know what it is. I just thought it was cool. And so I messaged this guy on MySpace. I'm like, hey man, I heard you break dance. Let's battle. So we met up, we battled in the back of a woman's locker room, and it was on concrete, right? That's so stupid. But ever since then, you know, we just started fucking around. But little did we know there was a class, there was a breaking studio right next to our high school. And we decided to go visit one day, and that's where we met our first mentor, Power Surge.
Oh, yeah.
And Power Surge really is the one that really built the entire crew to start up with, right? And he kind of gave us a character. He told us to start with originality and character. He really set the foundation up for us, and that's kind of like how we found our breaking roots. And then slowly we developed like our own style. But along the way, there's also a lot of different mentors that helped us out. Right? Like it was Johnny UC from Rock Force Crew. There was Mike Ying from Miscellaneous, Mega Man from Soul Control. And also that's also how I met one of my best friends, Matt Action, as well, because he is also a student of Power Surge.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the other side of town, Mission. We also grew up as rivalry.
That's cool.
But this is all kind of like the Bay Area. Like a lot of the Bay Area OGs kind of like we've learned from a very various of different crews from the Bay Area. That's like how we grew up. Like that was like our roots. Got
you. Yeah, that's awesome to hear that you had a mentor figure that kind of set you up. I think that's a really important thing too. If you can find like an in real life mentor, but even a lot of people, it's easier said than done, right? Like it's kind of hard if you don't know where to look and you don't know what you want to do to find someone like that. But until then, we have the internet. Like you can always figure something out on the internet. But I still think that having an actual mentor, it's big. Having somebody to push you, it's big. Even now, I feel like I'm looking for a mentor. I'm looking for either both in breaking, because my crew is not as active anymore. I'm looking for a spark. I don't know what my purpose. Well, first I think I don't know what my purpose is in the breaking world. And I also really wanted to see even for streaming too, like people think I'm doing well, but I'm still pretty fucking lost. You know what I mean? I'm in an industry that's like booming and I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I'm grinding, but I don't know what I'm doing. Right. So I'm constantly searching. And I guess maybe that's another reason why I'm always grinding. Cause it's always a question mark in the future for me. And I'm hoping to find the answer soon, hopefully. Right, yeah. Right. And it's cool that you literally said question mark, because I think that's the first step to finding guidance is knowing the right questions to ask, right?
Yeah.
So I guess even now, like a prime example is this podcast. Like, I mean, first of all, it's to the grace of you guys for being kind enough to hop on and actually take your time to talk about this and share your knowledge so that other people can learn from it. But also at the same time, it's my duty to be able to find the right questions that will give us the answers that we need to move forward. We can get more into that in another episode. I wanted to ask you personally, since we have you here, what is the best investment you've ever made? And that could be time or money or anything.
I gotta say time, dude. My time has put into Twitch since July 17th, 2017, man. Like, I'm able to provide a living for myself and my fiance right now, and I'm very fortunate. I'm not like living lavishly and driving Lamborghinis and shit, nowhere near that. But I'm able to do this in a different country, so I'm super blessed, right? And I'm also able to combine both breaking and my live stream, right? Even though I'm not able to practice at the full caliber of my energy, but the schedules can always switch around. I can always practice first, shower, then start streaming. You never know. Something in the works. But streaming, man, has really changed my life, right? It's gotten to allow me to meet my fiance. It's allowed me to network and meet so many talented individuals all over the world. It's gotten me to touch base and meet so many internet friends. Like I felt like these are the people that watch me, talk to me more than my own family and more than my own friends. It's kind of weird, right? But I do feel a connection with them as well. I think when I meet them in real life, like every day, every year, there's TwitchCon, the convention, when they say, "Yo, Joey, what's up?" I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And then when they say their username, I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like, to put a name and a face together, like
the curtain's been revealed.
Yeah, it's so dope. And I would hug them. I'm like, Like,
Wow.
at the end of the day, like, these are the people that, without them, like, they put me on. I didn't put myself on, right? Yeah, maybe like I got hope, I got people that help me out and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, these are the people that put us on as content creators. The people that take the time to double tap your picture. The people that take extra 2 seconds to comment nice photo. These are the people that put you on. These are the people that fuck with you, that really believe in the shit that you do. And that's what's incredible, right? That these are free things, you know. I mean, I remember people used to always say, "Yo, support your friends."
Yeah.
When your friends become successful, then everyone started popping out of the bush. You feel me? And now pandemic has happened. Now is people really wanted to fuck with their friends. Now they really trying to get that support from others, you know. But I've always believed in that, you know. I always buy the records. I always buy vinyls of artists and producers that I respect. Every time they put out a dope ass vinyl, I say, yo, I'm gonna cop that. You know, just gotta support. You just support your boys, support your friends, support the people that you believe in. Every time when I meet these people or face to face or talk to them, man, like I'm just like, yo, I don't think you guys understand. Maybe to them, they think I am just one viewer, right? I'm just one viewer, but their impact means more than just, oh, I'm just another person that's watching. That's just how I feel.
100%. I think there's something about that quality. I've only live streamed a few times, but trying to empathize with your feeling, the back and forth, the conversation you get to have, understanding that this is a real person that is behind this and not just not just a view. These people are taking the time to really engage with you. And that's a high quality fan right there. That's something I think really beautiful that you've come to garner with Twitch and with being a pathfinder, essentially, because you said you found a way to connect breaking with your livelihood, and not a lot of people can say that. That is definitely like, wow, that's amazing. Dude, and you found a way to do it.
Dude,
I
swear, man, I'm sorry to cut you off, dude, but there's every time when I stream a breaking event, I feel like I'm like, I feel like I'm like an actual like NBA commentator, bro. But I'm like the ADHD version of a non-filtered commentator for breaking events. Like, I really wish I can just go back. I mean, all of my past broadcasts are on my Twitch channel. You know, 2 years freestyle session 2 years, Taipei B-Boy City, Challenge Cup Taipei. We got the Break Park here, Foundation. I think I streamed Foundation anniversary. Another breaking event in Japan. Yo, like my shit was like just going off, right? And educating hundreds of people that have no idea what breaking is too. And I'm like, yo, I'm bridging the gap between the bullshit that I'm doing every day with something that I've been together for the past 15 years. And I'm like, bam, dude, that's like a, I can't even explain it, dude. You know,
it's a beautiful thing. There's a really famous quote by Steve Jobs. I think he said at a graduation ceremony. Looking back, it can be really hard to see how the things you're doing are connecting. Like you might just these things all over the place and they don't make any sense, but you have to trust in the process. And like by trusting in the process, that's how you know that the dots will connect eventually. And I feel like you've kind of come to a crossroads point, right? In your current life where
I see what you did there. Crossroads point. Nah, dude, I didn't even know Steve Jobs said that shit. Steve Jobs bit off of me. I'm just kidding. No, but
I'll send you the quote. I'll send you a quote. It's good.
I've even said this on my stream once. It's just like, you know, shit is all over the goddamn place, and now it's like literally everything is merging into one. You know, so when you said that, it kind of fucking me up a little bit. You know, rest in peace, Jobs. But damn.
Crazy. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I very much commend your drive and your trust in your process, because I've never really seen you express that much of like remorse or regret of what you've done. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe you have privately, but personally, like on your pages, while people can be bitter and not have the right head when they're online, everything you've posted has always been very forward thinking or present. And that's why I think that's another reason why I look up to you. So, I mean, yeah, Joey, keep it up. I really, really admire you. And I'm glad you've taken the time to be here. I'm just going to see if we're wrapping up soon, because I want to let you do your thing. spend time with
Yeah, no,
Anami. Is she out right now?
She went back out to stream. I don't even know. Let's take a look.
Oh yeah, you can watch her stream, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell me what she's currently up to. Wait, what is there even to do around here? Oh, are things still open?
Let's take a look. This is my work. You can probably put this in it.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
she's
it's
in the
recording
rain.
right now. All right, so
She's
we're
in the
currently
rain.
watching Harumi stream. She's in the rain with her umbrella. It's like
And then you got
midnight in Tokyo.
people talking in the chat as it looks like she's marching into North Korean army. You
How many
should
people
be
are
in
watching
the
right now?
416.
Wow, she has 416 live viewers.
Yeah.
That's
she's
pretty
killing it,
crazy to
man.
think about. Yeah.
Just recently, she wanted to become a full-time. I told her to quit her because she used to be an editor at Elle magazine, and I told her, "Yo, man, I want you to quit. Let me support you. I think I'm at a point where I can support the both of us. I want you to chase I want you to fucking go ham. Create content for your own. That's what I really wanted that to happen." And yeah, she's in the process, and she's killing it, man. Both YouTube and Twitch, and I'm very proud of her.
That's awesome, man. I'm. It's cool to hear that. Yeah, you're being supportive of that, and that you're continuing to push the bar. Because you did say you don't know what's going on, but at the same time, that's the beauty of it, right? Like continuing to just show up. I guess I wanted to ask you about specifically live streaming, since you have the experiences. This is your livelihood, and there's a lot of people trying it right now, like you said. So what do you think? There's so many, right? Like, but it's not just something that you pick up, right? It's still a craft. And so I wanted to hear from your mouth, like, what do you think separates a good live streamer from a great one? What are the qualities?
Good live streamer from great live streamer? Whoa. I think to see situation and adapt to it in a cool way, you gotta understand how to play it off, or just understand how to handle the situation in a smooth way where people's like, yo, that's hella funny. Or it's like, your reaction's a little too much. Or just control, own up to the situation, right? There is a very famous corner in Shibuya. We call it the content corner. And the content corner really is one of my friend who, man, if I say a mentor, maybe not. But I look up to him. His name is Jake.
Okay.
He, I told him, and
she's back. I hope that's her, right?
Let me guess. You didn't bring an umbrella.
I agree.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So he was streaming a lot in that corner called the content corner, and there's so much stuff going on in that. Late at night in Japan, everyone gets drunk, buy alcohol in that corner, and people just naturally come to him because he's got a camera, and then there goes content, right? But not everybody can go into that corner and be a successful streamer. Why? Because the energy in that corner is overwhelming. You have all these people that are drunk from all over the world that wants to talk to you because you got a camera. How do you handle that, right? And he does it so well of handling the entire atmosphere of owning up in front of a camera. Not everybody can do that. So like I said, a live streaming, it depends, right? People are streaming live stream at home, or people stream outdoor. For outdoor, understand how to study environment and own the atmosphere, own your surroundings. But being at home, I would just say, just be as relaxed as live streaming is not that serious. The more uptight you are, the tougher it is. You are live streaming yourself. You are live streaming who you are. So give them who you are when the camera is off. That's as best that I could put it,
Yeah, I think that was a good way of putting it, because it kind of circles back to what we were talking about, right? With the authenticity and just be you, meaning be calm, right? And being uptight doesn't mean being yourself, right? Trying to be something you're not is not being yourself. So I think that's a really great way to place it. And so thank you for that, Joey. That's some really great stuff. And I'll let you. I think we'll start to close up since we got Harumi back, and I think that if you're more down, like I'd be more than happy to have you on multiple times. Like it'd be great to check up on you every now and then to see what you're up to.
Harumi says she's down too, so if you want to
I'm so down.
Okay, so I guess so we don't end on a funny note. And this is Tommy, that's Joey's crewmate from Guerrilla Warfare, but he asked about the How Was My Day series, and if you plan on bringing that back. Can you give us a little bit of context on what that is?
Yo, that's hella funny. He would. Man, so in 2005, 6, when YouTube first started, right?
5, 6. Okay.
Yeah, when YouTube first started, I was super inspired. I really looked up to Timothy Delgado, Negahiga, Kev Jumba, and all these the first generation big YouTubers. So I wanted to do my own series because Timothy Delgado had the Dear Delgado series, but for me, I was still a high school kid. So I was like, yo, I got a camera, so I'm gonna start doing this shit. So what I did was I had a series called How Was My Day? It's literally our daily life in high school. Like these high school kids fucking around. And I think I did it consecutively for about half a year before I gave up. It was way too much editing, focusing on I gotta pump out content the day of. But after that, man, like I kind of just said, yo, this is a little too tough. I'm not making any income, so I just quit. Or I don't see anything big happen, and I just quit. And I guess maybe that is one of the things if I were to ever change. But I'm glad that happened because like I feel like the connection you have with YouTube subscribers versus Twitch subscribers, dude, is tenfold. You can't compete. Twitch subscription it fucking shits on YouTube, dude. Tenfolds. I can't believe like I can't balance it, dude. Like because like you get a viral video, like a viral cat video on YouTube. Do you feel connected with the creator? No, you don't. Because in maybe 20 or 30 minutes, there's gonna be the next viral video that's gonna come out, right? But for Twitch, you're actually seeing these people over and over again daily, or maybe weekly, right? Depending on their time zone. So I don't know. I just think it's just I'm very fortunate enough to find my home in Twitch.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, it's kind of like what you're doing today, right? Like, how was my day? You're literally streaming your day. You've just got a more advanced 2020 version.
Yeah, so I guess sorry, ADHD. But going back to that question, technically yeah. I am doing How Was My Day, but a full on like 6 to 8 hours version.
Yeah.
Am I gonna bring it back in the future? I do really want to at least have one video a week. I also kind of miss vlogging. I feel like editing a video gives me a peace. I feel, I don't know, I really enjoy making my own vision. Just like you film, you edit, that is your craft. I want to do that myself as well, right? I do edit one video every year of my like year highlight reel. That's kind of my thing. Yeah, maybe I'll bring it back, maybe not. I don't know.
For sure.
Depends on how things, I guess depends on how things go.
Hell yeah. Okay, cool. I'll be looking out for that. And that's funny because as a person who films and edits, right? I feel like I always am envying you because I'm like, dude, this guy doesn't have to edit shit. Like he just goes for it. And I feel like that's as glorious as that sounds is probably a trade-off, right? Because when you do want to edit, you have hours upon hours upon hours of content that you have to sort through. I'm like, that sounds painful as hell. That sounds even more painful than editing a video. So I'm not even.
It's hard though because like even if I want to, I have no energy after I stream. So imagine if I have to practice after I stream, you know, like
right.
After this podcast, I think today I streamed 6 hours. After this podcast, I gotta work out, stretch, and then probably watch a movie with her before I go to bed, and then tomorrow I'll wake up and do it again.
Is there a reason why you do not stream your sessions?
It just depends. I feel like sometimes like people get bored. Hold on, give me a second. Guys, I see you guys fucking laughing there. Okay, you guys are laughing, having the time of your goddamn life, and you guys are encouraging me to fuck with me on stream. I'm in the middle of a goddamn podcast. Shut the fuck up, stop laughing. God damn it, man. All right, sorry.
Wait, what's going on? I want to see. Can you show the screen?
They're laughing, I think. They're laughing at me.
Why are they laughing?
They said, fuck, dude. And they're making fun of me being on podcasts. You guys are, okay, anyway. I had to give them my peace of mind.
It's hilarious how they're actually like a person in space. It's wild.
They're real.
Yeah.
They're real. Maybe 300 of them are bots. I think they're bots. I mean,
300?
I'm just kidding, dude.
Okay.
I like to call them robots.
That's so funny.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. And then the other question Tommy had was, have you ever beaten Kid Nasty in a battle?
Smoked the shit out of him. and then after I threw the smoke on the ground, I pick it right back up. I light it again, smoked it again, stuff it in his face like this, and then I threw it on the ground once again. Good question, Tommy.
Good question, Tom.
That's funny as heck. All right, Joey. This has been a pleasure. I'm very, very happy with everything you said. Thank you for your time, bro. It's just been a great time just talking to you. I really appreciate it.
He's just chilling.
And so the last thing I wanted to ask you is I guess, are there any future projects or things that we should look forward to or that you feel like you want to take on in 2020? What should the people be looking out for on Joey Kaotyk's radar?
2020, yo, Headspin, bro. I'm about to be so fucking on with Headspin, bro. You see this? You see this right here? It's not even a freaking plug, dude.
Yeah.
This brand,
Spin control.
Because of spin control, I'm gonna have some of the nastiest headspins in the world. Watch out. Headspin 2020. I'm coming for you.
I see you working on it. You got it. And that hair is definitely gonna protect you from the baldness. So
thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
All right, you guys. Well, I'll plug Joey real quick. Go ahead and follow Joey Kaotyk on Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, and Harami. I am Harami. Go follow I am Harami on Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube.
Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. All my social media is the same.
Good job for keeping it consistent. Are there any last words that you'd like to leave the podcast with, Joey?
Damn. I guess just keep grinding. The grind never stops, and set a bar. Set a bar for yourself where you deserve a break. I swear to God, I mean, you talk shit right there, man. Like, I'm trying to wrap it up. I'm trying to wrap up this podcast. You're talking so much shit.
Here. I'll give you a more specific question. How about this? If you could have a billboard, anywhere, where would you put it, and what would it say?
The billboard would be in downtown Taipei, and it would say, "When you're not training, somebody's out there to train and fuck you up."
That's a good one.
Yep. Yep.
All right, Joey. Dude, thank you, brother. It has been a pleasure. Till next
Thanks,
time,
guys.
y'all.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. This is Joey and Kai on the Crossroads signing out. Boom. Also Harami signing out.